All right, welcome everyone. I am super excited to be here. Listen, if you're on Facebook and you would like to know about business contracts, head on over to my YouTube channel. All right. I see things a little shaky. So I want you guys to head over to my YouTube channel, The Educated Natural, so you guys can find out about business contracts and why you as an entrepreneur need these things in your possession. All right. See you guys over there. What's happening, YouTube? What's happening, YouTube? I'm super excited to be here today. Uh-oh, let me turn that off real quick. Hello. Listen, I'm excited. I'm excited because something has come to my attention. And because I don't feel like editing a video today, we're just going to do this video live. You guys are seeing this stuff live, okay? I want to discuss business today with you. In a recent conversation with someone, as we were talking business, they allowed me to know some behind the things that they are doing. And I wanted to come before you all today because these are some of the things that I never thought about doing. I never took it serious. And today, I do not want to leave you all uneducated. If you are not familiar with who I am Kimberly Collins, the Educated Natural, and it's my job to get to the root of a lot of things as it pertains to life, business, and of course, spirituality. It's my job never to leave you uneducated. I can't do it. It is not in me because I want you to succeed in your business. Now, later on, I will be doing a t-shirt, not in this video, in a whole nother video. I'll be doing live t-shirts and things like that. But today, there are some conversations we, as business owners, as entrepreneurs, we need to have. So if you are ready to receive this information, grab your pens and pencils, notebooks, whatever you need to jot down any information that you feel you don't want to forget. I encourage you to do that as well. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, leave us a thumbs up and a comment below this video if you found anything that I'm going to discuss with you helpful or could help someone else. Also, I invite you to leave a comment if you have suggestions that may also help me or someone else that may catch this video in the replay. All right, let's get started. Now, business contracts, if you are in business, should not be a new term for you. Whether you've been in business for 50 years, business contracts should not be a shocker. However, there are many people that do not have them as it pertains to their particular business or industry. I was the same way. Even though I would say to myself and to say to others, oh man, I want to be a Fortune 500, Fortune 600 plus company, there are certain things as entrepreneurs we are not doing in order to fit that goal. And what I mean is, if we want to be a big time global business, there are certain things we must do that already established bigger companies are doing. These are the things that we cannot neglect, to include business contracts. Many of you that are like me, you're in a business such as apparel, where maybe a lot of your orders come through word of mouth. Maybe you have a brick and mortar business and you have people coming in that just want to order a one-off, meaning a one shirt or one pair of socks or one pair of jeans or leggings or something they want customized. And so you're just kind of jotting things down and you're making them on request. And that's all well and good. However, there are many of us that are receiving big time requests, 20, 30, 40, 50, 150 shirts. It's important that you have something on hand, such as some type of contract, to write down what you're going to be providing so that you and that customer are eye to eye, so that both of you know what to expect and what is expected. Okay, this is where your business contracts come in handy. Now, no one contract fits everybody. There is no solution for everybody. That's why you have to tailor your business contracts to your business of what you're going to be providing to your clientele. You can't just take someone else's business contract and just copy off of that and say, well, this is what I'm going to do, because that may not fit what you're trying to provide to your customers. But I encourage every business owner, whether you're a small business owner, an at-home business owner, a brick and mortar business owner, wherever you are in the mix, you need to ensure you have your foundational things set in your business. Why, Kim? I know that's what you're saying, Kim. Why in the world would I need business contracts? Well, listen to me closely. Here's why. Business contracts protect your business. It's another level of protection in case something goes crazy. Okay? That's just plain as I can put it to you. We can't predict the future. You can't predict how things are going to go once you and that client decide what it is you're going to be providing. So you need to have that contract. It doesn't have to be a very long contract. It can be something very basic. But within that contract, certain things must be covered. And I'm going to go over a few of those things with you today because, like I said, I don't want you to be uneducated. On this channel here, education is key. No matter what we're talking about, our key focus is educating you and making you better and leaving you more knowledgeable than you were when you arrived. Okay, so let's get started. Now, I have my notes down here on my table, so I'm going to be glancing down every now and then to make sure I don't miss things that I've learned that I want to share with you. All right. Now, when it comes to business contracts, within the contract itself, you need to have certain contract details. And what this means is, what is the scope or the real meaning behind the contract of the service or product you're going to be providing to your clientele? Within those details, you need to list what limitations, what are the key details that you're going to be providing to that customer. For example, let's say they want you to do a line of shirts for their family reunion. You need to have that in a contract that spells out, this is what I'm going to be providing for you, the customer. You lay it out as plain as day as you can in your details of the contract. That way, nothing can be misconstrued. So you need to make sure in those details, every single thing that they expect you to provide is listed on this contract. Also within that contract, you need to list your quotes, meaning your price, your costs. So whatever you're going to be charging them for this family reunion bunch of shirts, it needs to be quoted in that contract. Let's say something happens after the contract and you realize that your shirt provider has decided to raise their prices per shirt. You need to have that listed in your contract, meaning the possibility of a price increase. You can't control that. Either you're going to suck it up as the seller or you're going to pass that on to your clients. But those things need to be spelled out in your contract as far as whatever you're quoting them price-wise. Also, you need to establish your date of delivery in your contract. If they order the shirts today and they want the shirts by June 30th, you need to make sure that is in the contract. That not only keeps you honest as the provider, but it lets them know they can expect to pick up their completed shirts by this date. Everybody's on the same page. You know exactly how many, you know exactly when it's due. It's in your contract. That way the customer can't come in. If they tell you June 30th, they can't come in on the 25th and say, hey, I need my stuff. And you're sitting there like, well, you told me this date. If you have a contract, this keeps everybody eye to eye. So if they try to come in early and you don't have their stuff ready, you have it on contract telling them, look, we agreed. You're not supposed to be here to this date. This is spelled out clearly in your contract. Thank you for being here. You have to make sure that these things are clear, because I have heard horror stories from business, service, and product providers that says, look, I had a word of mouth contract. Susie Q came into my shop and said she wanted 15 mugs done. And I said, I got you. But what we never established was the date that she was going to pick those up. If you put those things in your business contract, when people place orders with you, they can only come expecting to pick up the stuff from you on that set date and time. Contracts are important, entrepreneurs. I need you to hear me on this. You can no longer operate like you don't know. Like my man says that I watch online all the time, ET, knowledge is the new currency. You know, ignorance is not an excuse, okay? No, I told you we agreed on this amount by this date, and it has this on it. It's very important, business owners, that we have these contracts in place. It's going to take a load off of you, my people that do apparel. It's going to take a load off of your mind, because you can always go back and look at the contract and remember and be reminded as to what you're supposed to provide to your customers. And it will remind them of what they said when they did the contract with you. It keeps everything on the table. It lessens your confusion. It lessens your headaches. It lessens your late nights and early mornings. If you have everything crystal clear and spelled out in your business contracts. Let's move on. What you also need to establish in these contracts is, once you custom design something, who owns it? Do they own it, or do you, the creator of it? That needs to be spelled out in your contract. There are a lot of people taking other people's stuff and claiming ownership of it. But if you establish the ownership in your designs with your clients, it will be clear who owns it. This is very important. Me too. I had to, when somebody looked at my business, they said, Kim, where are your contracts? And I was like, well, you know, I get a lot of stuff offline and bought this. No more of that. You need to legitimize the foundational things in your business. People can forget things all the time. I know I do. But if I put it on paper, I know exactly what I'm supposed to be doing, for who I'm supposed to be doing it for, and by when. It keeps me as the provider clear. It also lets me know, okay, when I do this design for someone, who owns it? Do you maintain creator rights? Meaning they can take the shirt from you, but they can't go and have somebody else create this design because it's your design. It's your hard work. Because let's be honest, there are people that will buy something from someone else, come to you and say, hey, can you recreate this? Now, you know, in business, it's smart to find out, if you can, who originally created that. Because the last thing you want to do is step on somebody's toes legally, because you may not know where that design came from. And you may not know if that particular design or even the wording in the design is copyrighted or trademarked. The last thing you want to do is take money from someone, recreate a design they bring to you, and find out that you are about to receive a cease and desist order or a letter from someone's lawyer because you just recreated a design that was trademarked or copyrighted. You don't want to be in that position. Don't let money blind you, okay? You're working as a business and you have to operate as one. So everything you create or recreate, you have to do your due diligence as a business owner. You have to go and research and make sure everything's okay to protect yourself, because people love to sue. And I'm being honest with you. People love to sue for the silliest things. And you don't want to be mixed up in some type of litigation because you, as the business owner or service provider or product creator, you don't want to be mixed up in somebody else's litigation issue. You don't want to do that. So decide who's owning this stuff when it's done. Okay. And besides, you yourself, if you create something, you don't want somebody else to take it and have somebody else recreate it. Now they're getting paid off the same design that you took your hard work and created. Let's be real here. Put it in your contracts. Okay. Next, we're moving on. You also need to sit down, Speak with yourself, speak with your team. If you have a coach, if you have that client in front of you, tell them what happens in your contract if something goes wrong. Let me tell you, deadlines can be missed for the craziest things. Maybe you were working on a thing, your heat press went out. You're trying to press a shirt and a fuse blows in your heat press and you are unable to complete your order. That needs to be in your contract, the what if scenarios. You need to have that clearly in your contract to let them know if something should happen that will prevent me from completing your order, this is what I plan to do. You need to make sure they read and understand that, even if it means I have to give you your money back, you can only pay me for the ones I was able to do. Exactly. Anything could happen. You could have a flood out of nowhere. Like anything could happen in your family. You could get sick and you're unable to perform that duty they're expecting you to perform. Anything could happen. You have to have that in your contract. Like I said, contracts protect you. It's very important. You have these things spelled out. We can no longer operate like that buddy system where I've known them since elementary school and they've come to me and I really need the business, my rent is due and I really need this order. So, we're not going to do any kind of contract. We're just going to shake hands on it, or she's just going to call me on the phone. I'm like, oh, I got you. No. Fortune 500 companies don't operate that way. That's some janky business mess. You don't want to be a business person. You want to be a business person, and you have to operate accordingly. Only because I don't want people to lose in this season of their business. A lot of us are working hard. It feels like a lot of days we're going up the rough side of the mountain. Why complicate things? When you know better, you do better. So your job is to get your foundational principles of execution in your business in order. This is what business contracts do. They keep you honest, they keep you in order, and they let your customers know exactly what they can expect from you. I already know. I can hear it now. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. But Kim, if I tell customers that I would like to do a contract with them in order to fulfill this order, they may walk right out the door, meaning the money is walking right out the door. Well, guess what? If that means you're going to keep yourself out of court, if that means that you have to say goodbye to that client, so be it. And I know that's hard to hear. You have to literally let people know, girl, I know, or man, I know, we've known each other since diaper days, but this is business. This is not personal. This is business. And I need to make sure that not only is my company that I'm working hard to build protected, but I need to make sure that you are confident enough to know I have you covered through this contract, because it binds not just the customer, but it binds you as the business owner to what you said that you're going to do. That's all it's doing. You're covering your behind. That's it. You're making sure that everybody knows, hello, I'm covered. Business is business. Absolutely. It's not personal. It's all about business. And I am a businessman, as Jay-Z like to say. I'm a businessman. I'm not playing over here. We're not playing no games. We're not taking any chances in this season of our lives or in this season of our business. I love you to death. I do. But this is business. And this is how business is taken care of here. I hope you understand this. So if you lose a client because you're trying to operate in business, explain to them why these business contracts must be signed by both parties, you and them. It's very important, because it's best that they know up front now than you not have a contract and something happens and goes wrong for them to blow up at you. And now they're on Yelp and any other Google or anywhere else. They can leave a comment or a review. And now they're dragging you and your business through the mud when all of this could have been avoided had you simply had a contract in place. That's it. It covers you and them. So that's what contracts are for. Now, also in that contract, somewhere you need to put in a blurb so that you and them, your client, both of your contact information is in that contract, meaning your address, your phone number, names, whatever, on both sides. Both of you need to make sure that your contact information is there. So for instance, the example I gave earlier about your heat press element going out, or you blew a fuse, or maybe you lost power in your whole house, and so you can't turn it on. You need to make sure when things like that happen, that those what if things happen, you need to make sure you have a way of contacting them directly. You could call them up and say, hey, this happened. I'm working as hard as I can. You may have to give me an extension on what the date we said, because this has happened. And I don't care if you have to grab your phone and do a live stream, but look, I have no power, so that they will see you're not lying to them. You need to cover all bases and have a way for you to contact them and for them to contact you. Maybe something happens where they need to add something to the order. So that means you're going to have to revamp or amend the contract, right? Maybe they set out first 15, 30, and now they want to jump it all the way up to 50. You need to have that revamp, that addition in there to the contract. So now you're thinking, okay, I was doing 30. When you hit 30 shirts, you're like, oh, I'm done. And realize, no, you still have some more to do. This is where your contracts come in handy. I'm telling you. Exactly. Liability. Whew, I could do a whole video just on liability. Liability is serious. If it's in a contract, the client can't say, I didn't tell you to do that, or I told you to do that. They can't do that. You have an actual legal binding contract that you signed and they signed. They have a copy of it. You have a copy of it. And let me tell you something else about those copies. People are smart nowadays. People like to go and, go in and restructure or add in or take out certain things out of the contract. Oh, no. Don't do that. Because what you need to do, you have a copy, they have a copy. You compare the two to see if there was any changes. And let's say, like I gave you an example earlier about the number of shirts changing. If they have to cross out that from 35 to 50, you cross it out, you sign it, they sign it with the new amount on that contract. That way, when they'll both initial it, you both initial the changes that were made before you do anything else, before you make shirt number 36. No, we both have to re-sign this contract because it changed. Or you can just redo a whole new contract. It's up to you. Either way, at the end of the day, you need to make sure you have a contract on hand for that job. If people can't understand that, I don't know what else to tell you. It covers you. It covers your client. It makes your job as the provider of a service or product so much easier and clearer. And that way, both parties know what their liability is. You don't want to be left out there with 50 shirts that you cannot resell because you have somebody else's family reunion stuff on it. You can't resell those shirts once you print those out. If you have it on contract, then you have a better standing position to recoup your money if you have to take this person to court if they don't pay up for these shirts you have made. That brings me to my next point. I personally, I can't tell you what to do in your business. Personally speaking here, I don't print, design, or do anything else when it comes to products or services prior to full payment. Now, if you set up a payment plan, that's something totally different. But some money has to come up in here before I go and create. Because what will happen a lot of times, and I've heard horror stories about this, people go out and they get an order from somebody, whether it's through word of mouth, telephone call, actual form, whatever. They start making all these products, right? And when it's time to pay, people disappear. They get amnesia. They forget they placed this order, and now you have products that you're stuck with. Can you imagine doing 50 family reunion shirts for the Coxes, and you've done this whole design for their family, just to find out that the one that placed the order decided they're not going to pay you your money? Now what do? You're out of the price of those shirts and all the ink and the labor and everything else. You are just out of luck because you did not receive either the full amount or a certain percentage of that order up front. And now you are just with $0. You're in the red because Sally Sue has ran off, kept her money, and you're stuck with all these shirts now that you have created prior to receiving your payment. That also can be discussed in your contract. Matter of fact, I know people now that as they're going through the contract and taking the order, they like pay me now, whatever that percentage is, pay up front in full, pay half up front, half when the order is done. Either way, they're receiving something before they leave the contract signing session that they have with their client. So I'm telling you, operate from this day forth like a business, as if you have a huge corporation. I don't care if you only got 1 or 2 clients. Operate as if you are larger than what you are, because then you're ready. You don't have to get ready. You're ready. You have everything you need right there. Your foundational principles in your business contracts are clear. You're able to explain each line with your clients as they walk in your door for your products. It's very clear. And if they have any problems, you can kindly explain to them the reason why your business contracts are there and what the purpose of these contracts are. In 2021 and beyond, we can no longer operate winging it. You can't wing it anymore. We have to be serious business owners, because you're wondering why your competitors out there, those threats of competition that you have out there, you're wondering why they're succeeding and why they're selling the number and the amount of products they are selling, and you're barely making ends meet. It could possibly be because their foundation is more solid than yours. Maybe they've studied and researched various algorithms, even here on YouTube, more so than you have. Take the time now, do your due diligence for your business growth, and get all of your ducks in a row. Dot every I, cross every T, so you can set your business up for economic and future success. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much. He says, how can I apply this to an Etsy custom listing, for example? Would I include the terms in the listing description? Yes, you can. I don't have an Etsy store, but I've been looking at starting one. The more information you put in that description and break it down right there, and make sure that the people who are buying from you are aware of your stipulations, the clearer it is for it, easier and the best it is for you as the Etsy shop owner. I went to Etsy. I've bought a lot of things off Etsy, but I remember seeing on someone's description that I was about to buy something from. They listed, no return. They had a no return policy on there. And it was clear to me that whenever I received this product, I couldn't return it. So I had to make sure before I even purchased it that I was aware of that. But they did have a blurb in there that says, please contact me if you do have any issues. So that kind of made me a little bit more, we'll saw a little bit, because anything can happen between the time they put it in shipping and the time I receive it. So I was glad to know that they had that blurb in there. And so I did once before have an issue with someone else's order, something that I ordered. And when I received it, it did not meet my expectation. So I clearly reached back out to that Etsy owner and I explained the situation to them. And they gave me half of my money back of the products that weren't damaged. So I appreciated that, because to me, that's a boss move. That is a clear business move when they are able to go that extra mile to keep me as a customer or client. So I appreciated that. So yes, the more you can list in your Etsy, the better it is for you. The whole basis of contracts is to cover your behind in case something goes wrong, to make sure that everything is clear to not only you, but to your proposed customer or client as well. so that everybody's on one accord. Everybody's on one page and they know what to expect and you know what to deliver. Okay? Is it valid to state purchase implies your acceptance to the terms mentioned? Absolutely. Make it clear. You can put that at the bottom or the beginning, wherever you need to put it. Let them know that when they purchase this, they hopefully have read whatever your stipulations are. Because if they didn't read it and something goes wrong or they have an issue, you can point back and say, no, in my description, it says blah, 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 blah. Also, I think with Etsy, there is a way when you do get an order, you can reply to people. I think they have to put like either an email or something in there where you can reach out to those people. That's another way to say, let me send this to them through email so they'll know that they at least got it through email if they missed it on Etsy. So whatever basis you need to do, cover yourself as a business owner as much as possible, especially in these days. There are too many people getting sued. There are too many people giving out bad advice and people are losing money. I hear the stories all the time. And the more you know now, the better you will be tomorrow. Now, let me just say this. Here's my disclaimer. I should have said this at the beginning. I'm not a lawyer. I am not a lawyer. I don't practice law. Okay, that is not my field. I am a business graduate. I have an MBA. I know business. The legal part, seek legal counsel. When it comes to anything legal, seek legal counsel. I'm just telling you guys this based on my own experience and the things that I have witnessed and I have went through myself by not having business contracts before doing something, especially now. As business owners, we cannot take any more chances. We can't take any more chances. People are out here taking people's logos. People are out here taking people's business names. Don't take any more chances. Put your contracts out there front and center. Whatever it is you want your customers to be aware of, whatever it is you think may be a hiccup later on, put it in writing, put it in paper, make it plain so people cannot come back to you later if they don't like the shirt you did. Maybe the shirts that you selected were too fitting for them and they're mad and they want their money back. No, put that in your contract too. Put the size chart in your contract. Say, look, this is a tighter fitting shirt, so if you this big and the shirt makes you look like, it's like on you like this, let them know in the contract your size charts. If you have a tighter fitting shirt, make sure you put those dimensions in that contract so that they will be aware this is a more form-fitting piece of attire. If you know your shirts are a little bit looser, let them know that as well, because there are some people that's very sensitive about things like that. And you may love a particular brand of shirt, but that client may not. So it's better for you as the provider of t-shirts or apparel in general to let them know this fits a certain way so that people won't be shocked when they receive the items for you. All right. So that's very important because I have had people to say, always ask me when they buy my shirts, especially through my website, how does it fit? So I make sure on my website, I have a size chart of the measurements per size, small, medium, large, all the way up to the size that I provide. I make sure they know this. Now it's up to them to measure themselves, but I did provide the information. I can lead, what they say, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. I can't make you read anything. But if you come back to me with an issue, I can make sure that the information was provided beforehand. That's my job as the business owner. So I thank you guys for being here. I thank you for sharing this out. I thank you for subscribing to the YouTube channel. Those of you that's watching this on YouTube, if you haven't already, subscribe, leave me a thumbs up, a comment if anything I have said has helped you on your day throughout your business, because tomorrow is a new day and we have even more content to share with you in the future. I thank you for being here. If you ever need to contact me, if you can't find me on YouTube, go to my website. I'm always there. www.sownonpurpose.com. If you can't find me there for some crazy reason, I'm always all over social media. All you have to do is do a search for The Educated Natural, and that is I and I am she. Thank you guys for being here. Until the next video or live stream like today, I always say, be sown, be rooted, and above all else, tell yourself every single day, no matter what it looks like, I am blessed. God bless you all. To the next video. See ya.